Hey, welcome
What is going
everybody.
on?
This is the Heavy
Metal
Citadel.
Podcast. How you guys doing tonight? I am here with Short, the crop investor,
Hello.
and I am your other host, Chernoglov, the hero with the silver mustache. And tonight we've got a fun show for you of just various little bits and pieces. We got a great movie we watched and a couple of reviews for some really, really great new black metal tracks. So stick around.
Yeah.
We're going to be chatting about this. And yeah, Short, what do you got to say about this film? What do we watch?
What did we watch? We watched Studio 666. We're obviously everyone's been talking about it, and to be fair,
Absolute.
I mean, if you look in the news, it's a bit of a flop apparently. But before we get into all that, for those of you who don't know, Studio 666, Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters, he came up with essentially what amounts to Evil Dead meets Tenacious D. Let's be honest. That's what
pretty much a mix of good, solid comedy, horror, but with a fairly decent budget. I'd say that the horror aspects were pretty good in terms of effects.
Oh, the horror aspects were great. I mean, spoiler alert, but the girl who gets like chainsawed through her face while she's on the bed,
Yeah.
that was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of the people who were reviewing it were like, oh, it's not funny. I almost think that they were like, first of all, they're the Foo Fighters. They're not actors. They're musicians.
Yeah.
Grohl was like the only one who had anything in the past in terms of acting.
Yeah, I was just going to say Grohl was the best actor there. The other guys were a bit wooden, but, they all kind of had their own quirky personalities, which is fine. Some of the guys just plays the straight man to Grohl's zaniness. But I thought, out of all of them, he was the best. I think he's the most really movie ready.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what I was just going to say in terms of him having the previous experience. He was the devil in Tenacious D when they did that final rock off in that ending scene. Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely he's been there before. I mean, having said that though, the jokes, I'm not gonna lie, they were like worse than dad jokes. They were quite bad. Some of them.
They were pretty bad, but I don't know. It's kind of endearing in a way because you know where it's coming from with these guys. It's coming from the heart. It's a passion product. It's not like a soulless, studio's executive dream of a comedy. They're bad, but I think it's an endearing way. At least it was to me.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely didn't take itself too seriously. Like that's what I'm saying. It's a lot like sort of Evil Dead vibes. It knows what it is. Totally, it doesn't go like over, and it's goofy. I mean, fucking what's his name? Lionel Richie shows up. In that one scene. So it's like
from MacGruber.
Yeah. Oh God, I always forget his name. The janitor guy. But I mean, yeah, and there's some pretty, like I was saying, Lionel Richie, some good cameos. Kerry King, Slayer was in it. He's the roadie. But yeah, no, it was pretty good. I mean, overall, the plot was kind of sort of, it was a ripoff almost of Evil Dead, but essentially the guys are making the 10th album. They're going to this like this house that's possessed by this demonic spirit that essentially needs to get this like final demonic riff done, and then essentially that's what happens. Grohl gets possessed by the devil. He ends up killing people left, right, and center.
You have to say spoilers again.
Oh, sorry, spoilers alert.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Just so we cover all our bases there.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't mention that at the beginning. I just briefly said it for one sentence.
Yeah.
But no, he ends up killing a lot of people. Let's just say
the main people. Yeah.
Okay. The main people. And yeah, that's basically it. The thing is though, it was. I almost feel like it would have been better if Grohl was actually the director. It wasn't Grohl. It was another guy. I know he did some other. He did another horror film. I forget now what, but essentially it did feel a little bit like it was overly produced. Like they had like Doritos. They were constantly eating Doritos. Like in every fucking scene almost. They were like, it was like, is this sponsored by Doritos?
From somewhere, I know Foo Fighters are doing well, but
that's what I'm saying. It's the Food Fighters. Food Fighters? They just call them the Food Fighters?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's been a joke that's been made.
Okay.
But I think like they're playing they're playing a little fictionalized version of themselves. That's kind of why I like it. The problem is that there's not that much music. I think I was expecting a lot more music.
Yeah, especially Foo Fighters stuff.
If it's Foo Fighters stuff. And you know that Dave Grohl's a big metal fan. So, even you remember his time at Probot, he had that super group. They turned out some pretty good songs. And, he's still got it in him. If you heard that song by Dream Widow, which was the fictional band in the movie, it's March a pretty good, black thrash song. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's no Midnight, but it gets the job done in a random kind of black thrash playlist, which is surprising considering it's coming from Foo Fighters.
And they're releasing an album based on the movie, if I'm not mistaken, because that's what album. That's Well, I guess we'll see what comes of it. I mean, overall, there's better like black metal and comedic horror films out there, but I mean, it's still worth a watch. The only thing is, like I was gonna say,
they're few and far between. So this is all we've got, really. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, if this was streamed on Netflix or something, then I would say just wait for it. But I don't think it is, because I'm pretty sure Grohl said specifically it's only going to be theatrical releases. So, I mean, unless you want to go with your mate, get some pints in you and then watch it.
It's worth the watch. I think it's worth the watch. Like listen, a couple of pints, have some fun.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 mutant thumbs out of 5. This is a fair assessment.
That's fair enough. I'll give it a 3.5 half-eaten brains out of 5.
That's okay. It's a little bit more than I would have expected. Okay, well, I mean, you did like it. I mean, I liked it too. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Plus, I just love Grohl. He's got good energy. But yeah, no. So guys, do check it out if you're looking for something sort of fun and wacky and doesn't take itself too seriously. But agreed. Moving on.
Yes. Here comes the black metal. Here comes the black metal.
We've
been waiting for this a while. Yeah,
we've been waiting. It's episode 3.
Third I don't podcast. Think. No, literally. Finally, talk about music. Release music.
I was just about to say we haven't talked about black metal, like actual music, black metal music, in the first 2 podcasts at all. It's just been thrash. This has basically been a thrash podcast.
Oh, and the various things that we've been drinking.
Oh yes, thrash and food and drink podcast or eating, correct.
I'm having a Camden Pale Ale right now, who is not sponsoring me, but I do have a few.
Oh, okay. I'm having a Birra Moretti because I'm feeling Italian.
Oh.
So, I mean, which doesn't at all segue into what I was going to say. I should have lied and said I had a Finnish beer, but I don't.
Yes.
So I actually reviewed a couple of singles.
What you got?
All right. Hold your horses.
I want to hear. I'm excited.
So it's a Finnish band, Aesthus, which I believe means fire.
To ass. Okay. No. I know your Finnish is very rusty. So just
I believe it's actually Aesthus, which is Latin.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's Latin, because I don't think that's Finnish at all. It doesn't sound at all Finnish, but they're a black metal band. I think they're only like 4 years old. I think they started in 2017, but they had one little demo tape out.
Okay.
And it's
was
pretty
this when they
decent.
first formed the first demo?
No, actually, I think the first demo came out around like 2020. So they had like 2 years where they probably didn't do very much, or they were trying to build up to the demo. But the demo was actually not too bad. It's actually quite dynamic. It's almost like a mix of your sort of DSBM sort of melodic, melodic, more droney, but then it also has sort of Watain feels to it. So it's like that blast beat, really sort of tin can black metal. Which is perfect. Exactly. My favorite too. But the single that was out, I think in 2021, Verte Satanala, which is Blood for Satan. Absolutely fantastic. And their new full length album comes out, I think, on March 31st through Purity Through Fire. which has some really, really great underground black metal bands. And I think that full length album is called, and I'm absolutely going to butcher this. So guys, I do apologize. And I'm also going to put an accent on for maximum, for maximum offense.
Go for it.
Tempalinas variosa, which is in the shadow of his temple. So they're black metal. They're satanic.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It was a really good accent.
Thank you. And I'm going to be using it throughout this and offending so many people.
Can you finish the review with that accent?
I mean, I would, but I'm absolutely going to like insult them, and I would like them to be on the show at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
They literally have everything I sort of like right now in black metal and what I'm looking for. So they basically released 2 singles from that album. Tiahis Ikyun Kuolama, which is Emptiness, Eternal Death. And that is your sort of textbook DSBM song with just
it sounds like
twist.
The chapter of a black metal textbook, literally.
Oh, it's 101. Emptiness, Eternal Death.
Yeah, beautiful.
But it's got that DSBM sound, but it has the satanic twist. And so it's got this like soft melodic opening, so a little bit of soft drone in the background sort of accents it, and then it breaks into like proper black metal rhythmic hysteria. Which it's absolutely fucking perfect.
It's sad Satan, basically.
It's sad Satan, but it depends on the song, because if you look in their first demo, Polku, it literally starts out with these fucking awesome, and I can't make fucking heads or tails of it, by the way, because it's finished, but it starts with this awesome satanic chant. It's like, Satanos, we love you. I'm assuming is what they say, but it echoes, and it's got this awesome chapel echo sound to it. And then the next song is just like pure black metal. Then you get like a black metal, and it breaks in like halfway through, it breaks into sort of like this DSBM, like groove funk, like weird. It's so awesome. It's so dynamic. And there's also this like soft touches of synth layer throughout. So it gives you this, like, it's almost like an angelic dichotomy with the vocals along with this. It's just, it's badass. So it's quite.
Does it slow down? Is it like a relentless blast beat in your face?
Oh, no. It's really nice. It's really dynamic. So it blasts in your face, but then it has these breakdowns throughout. So not every song is like that, but at least on their demo, I think there were 2 songs on it where it just comes at you with just blast beat black metal. Then it starts to break down. It goes sort of melodically slower, and also the vocals aren't sort of your traditional, it's not silencer. Let's just say like that. There's a structure to the vocals. It's still like gritty, but it's not like wailing in pain, piggish squeals.
Yeah. Well, nothing really is. I mean, Silencer is pretty unique.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Silencer podcast, everyone.
It's come full circle back to Silencer.
Yeah. It sounds really good. I'm gonna check this out.
It's absolutely brilliant. That's the thing that was the In the Shadows of His Temple. I'm just going to butcher that in Finnish, so I'm not even going to try. But the other one, Vihani Altarital, which is the wrath, my wrath from the altar. That's definitely the more sort of traditional Watain blast beat, just straight chaos through and through. And it sort of echoes their demo a bit. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this band has so much dynamic range in its sort of tempo and its speed, and they've got this like gray, dark, black, satanic feel, but with like a dash of the DSBM, not throughout obviously, but just in some of the songs, which I think is like the perfect melding of it. Because I mean, to be fair, it's kind of an oxymoron, but the thing I don't like about some DSBM music is it's just about depressive suicidal context, like, which I get it. Listen, I get it, but I love that sound. If they could just put satanic content and lyrics to it, which is why I loved Devil's Blood so much.
Oh yeah,
like Devil's Blood got that like smooth, some is very lyrical, but at the same time it's just singing about Satan.
Yeah, and that's why I think you should like Ghost more.
I am not gonna like. They're wacky. These people. Have you seen? I'm gonna send you a photo of these guys. They're
it's
literally
Scooby-Doo-ish. Scooby-Doo-ish. Yeah. No, I understand. Some people take it more seriously. Like even Devil's Blood took it quite seriously. Like Salim, man. I mean, he died for his art. So most other bands kind of pale in comparison when it comes to really living, breathing the music and doing everything for the music. Yeah.
No, but I mean, and it's hard to find that because there are I think it's Lucifer is the band. There are different bands that try to sort of play around with that melodical, almost traditional heavy metal feel, but with Satan. But it just doesn't. For me, it just doesn't hit the mark. Just because I think
that they play it up for the ironic angle. I think for a lot of these bands, it's the shock value for maybe more the mainstream, and the mainstream latches on because the music is so accessible, but they seem cool because they're singing about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas the more real guys, they're a bit more serious about it, and they make more inaccessible music about the same topics because it's not for the masses, and that's never the point of the kind of stuff that they sing about.
Yeah, and I get that. I mean, I get that as well. And there's a certain level where I think once you get into sort of the extreme parts of black metal, you sort of hit like a foundational bedrock of how, I guess, how good it gets without it getting silly. Do you know what I mean? Like before it starts like, obese guys in the forest with like corpse paint on, making like hilarious music videos and stuff like that. So it's a very, very, very fine line. And that's why, again, I think like Devil's Blood, this band has sort of captured that feeling. So it's still a bit mature and it deals with those darker things, but it's not funny. It's not silly.
Yeah. And I think the bands that do it best is that those bands that really lean into doing it one way or the other, but don't try to straddle the middle, so to speak, because otherwise you're not going to win on either side of having fun or being serious, and no one's going to take it either way, and you'll just sort of exist without any kind of interest from many fans.
Yeah, they'll just both hate you.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, it was good that they actually reminded me a little bit of Wolves Winter, the Argentinian black metal band, but not as much of the harmonic attributes that they had. Whereas like these guys, they're just a lot grittier, a lot more black metal, the vocals are very similar. But other than that, I mean, there's a slight dichotomy between the two, but there's still sort of, you can feel how they definitely have, Aesthus has an influence, had an influence from Wolves Winter. But no, overall, definitely going to listen to this album when it comes out March 31st, through Purity, Through Fire, which has some amazing freaking underground black metal, some good stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did you listen to?
I've got a Danish band for you. So this came to my attention through Eisenwald Records. And, speaking of labels that put out really, really good stuff, I mean, Eisenwald goes with the best of them. They did the Agalok. They're doing Vanum. They're doing Flusterars, so some of the more experimental, out there black metal. So when I saw, their playlist on Spotify, I was like, okay, well, let's check this out. Obviously, they had ceremonial castings on there, so there was that connection.
Some ceremonial castings, baby.
So this band's called Heltekvad. So they're a Danish band.
Are you going to use a Danish accent, which I assume is the same as my Finnish?
It's going to be exactly the same as yours. So just wait till I get to the song.
So offensive. I cannot wait to completely offend every person listening to this.
And
okay, let me see, because
I am with accent.
Audience members, please realize that this man, his accents are exactly the same. His Jamaican, his English, his fucking Finnish, it's all the same.
I can't help it.
Completely different inflections.
I apologize.
What was that? Was that an accent?
I apologize in advance. See? Pretty good.
It sounds like you're sick.
I am sick.
Okay. Anyways, carry on.
Various ways. You'll love this because it has members of Afski and Sunken and Morald. So some great Danish.
Recently too.
Yeah, we were. That went down the shitter because of COVID. But I hope they'll be back. Fantastic band. And so this is kind of like a super group of all of these Danish guys, formed in 2020. So very, very new. I think they're kind of working remotely on this project, from Copenhagen to Aarhus. So it's come together. I think they both shared a passion for maybe this theme or this type of black metal. But there's been 3 singles released so far. So I highly recommend that you go check them out. Like you said, with Aesthus, did I say that right?
I've been butchering it, but I think it's Aesthus. Aesthus. It means fire.
I think that's fine. No, there's lots of diversity in these first three singles, and that's what I like about this band. And I just want to say up front, what is going on with medieval black metal? I feel like I'm seeing it everywhere nowadays.
It's all like over the map.
It's like the new folk metal. So I see a lot of medieval black metal. So maybe it is a little bit oversaturated, but these guys stood out to me in a very, very, very good way. And so obviously this is the theme. It's medieval black metal. It might not be immediately apparent because there's no overt use of like medieval lutes and instrumentation. It's not in your face as some other bands. One comparison that people are going to draw immediately is Vehemence. There's this black metal band from France that they're pretty big in this genre specifically. I think you'll know them. You'll see the cover art that it's just some old ass tapestry of some dude feeding a dragon a beer or whatever in those ancient times.
That's fucking brilliant.
But it's like drawn like a 4-year-old. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those tapestries.
Perfect for me.
So yeah, perfect. And so it's going to immediately draw comparisons to bands like that because it is a very similar type of black metal. It does have that melodic edge to it. It does have those slower passages, and it does, it's a little bit more tasteful interludes rather than progressively integrating the folk elements, which I kind of like. I don't want it to be little lutes throughout this whole album, but
okay. So you don't want a corporate clowny.
No, I don't want a corporate clowny. I want some more real shit. But this is a great album so far from what I heard for the first three singles, and I know it's going to be good because it's only about 35 minutes long. So I think these first three singles are already an indication of how good this album is going to be. But let's talk about the vocals, because I think that is my favorite part of this. And you'll love it too, because they've got that DSBM edge to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Ole Pedersen Luke, so he's the singer of Aesthus, you know him there. He's the guitarist and singer here. But he's actually putting on his vocal performance is off the chart. It's not nothing really like Aesthus, but it's way more tortured. Tons of agony in the vocals, lots of variety. You got wailing, screeching, screaming. It's just so good. I think you'll love it. It's the exact type of vocals you're looking for. If you remember, we listened to this band called Alain Mord.
Yeah.
They did some really good stuff with vocal melodies, and it's a lot of that, but it's a more faster, more melodic black metal, which I really like.
I actually do want to listen to this.
Yeah, I mean, in the, I think it was the second single released, Eder og Heder. Yep.
Eder og Heder.
So the first riff, right. Immediately right out of the gate, blasting, screaming, classic black metal intro. But the drums guide you to, slow it down. They slow it to the slower passages with all his tortured wails, just really standing out and all that. And you've got the slow bits, the track speeds up again, really thrashes through, and it's just it's so varied throughout the whole track. And in the very end, he's just left just the vocals screaming out with the sounds of like people in the church. I assume some monks from the olden days. God. So he's like trapped in a church or something. And
wait, so it's like chants?
Yeah, it's chants at the very end.
Oh,
just was wailing chants at the very end, and it's absolutely fantastic. I don't know what the lyrics mean specifically. I've done a little bit of light Google Translate. They are all very medieval in their meaning. Death shall guide me to heaven, my sword guide my way, etc.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing about Aesthus. I honestly have no fucking idea what they're singing about, but I can probably guess it's about singing.
Yeah, so I can tell you it is very medieval from the lyrics, even though it might not be readily apparent from the music itself, even though it's you have those little tasteful interludes, which are still quite nice. And the production itself, I think, is great. It's perfect for this type of music. The guitars are razor sharp. They cut through everything. The drums are perfectly balanced, and you can even hear the bass, which is always a welcome thing for me. I do.
Yeah, I was literally about to say. Metal. Literally, you just reminded me in terms of like, I love. I love traditional sort of black metal, early day stuff, but there is such a science to keeping it sort of that authentic, raw very sort of low bass feel, but a little bit of bass, but then also still keeping it authentic, but having a nice production value versus like literally banging on tin cans just so it's authentic. Like, yeah, I'm all for authentic, but at the same time, it's actually, I feel it takes more skill to sort of ride that middle lane of, you can have a bit of the traditional, but you also have a good production value, and it's got a much richer sound.
I agree. I think it's part of, if it's part of the band's vision, I could see that. But so often bands have a vision and they can't really follow through with that in the production sense, if that makes sense. So there's some bands that are literally hampered by bad production and they can't do anything about it. But there's some bands that purposefully do it, but they do it in such a way that the album is totally listenable. But either it's muffled or it sounds otherworldly or something. Yeah. There's something to it that to the untrained ear might say, oh yeah, the production is shit. But actually it's exactly how the band
what they wanted. Yeah. No, I agree. And that's why it's harder to make those, but oh man, when you find those gems. Ugh. All right. So what do you give it?
There's nothing what out do you of the, I mean, so far I give it 3 executioner axes out of 5. I think it's going to be absolutely killer. The rest of this, very, very promising. Did I say 3? I meant 4.
Yeah.
All right. No, I meant 4. I was thinking 3 out of 4, like 4 stars. No, it's a 4. It's a 4 at the moment. So
I like how you did this on the fly. You didn't decide until this moment how.
Well, no, because you didn't rate yours, so you kind of put me on the spot about rating.
Oh, I already know what this is. Mine is like if it's out of a 10, it's definitely a strong 7. If it's out of a 5, I'm leaning to 3.5. But my 5s is like the best album ever. I mean, my 5 is Silencer, so.
Yeah. So that's not many bands are going to live up to that, really.
No.
But anyways, this album is out March 25th on Eisenwald, and it is going to kill. I cannot wait to hear it. I hope like you said, maybe we'll even have seen some of these bands on the show to talk about the album. This is sounds real quality. I can't wait to hear it.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I mean, they both seem to be coming out end of March, so maybe we can reach out to the bands and sort of see if they want to chat with us. And I'm sure they won't, because I mean, I've already insulted them with my accent. But hopefully they don't listen to it. They'll just look at it and be like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah. No,
this looks like people listen to it. I'm not going to though, and I'm just going to say I'll take the interview.
Evile, they must be decent.
And also, again, Evile never listened to it because they had better things to do than listen to you basically ask people about where McDonald's is outside of their show. Oh
yeah, but the interview was great with them.
Really dude, cool they're such nice. Yeah, they're such nice guys, man. Some of the best blokes. Cool.
Well, listen to our Evile episode to get the rest of that.
Listen to our
we could really rehash the whole thing.
We could really use it, is what he means. We could really use the listens, mom and dad.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I was going to say, I actually think that Studio 666 song, March of the Insane, is on Spotify. And with our, so why don't we actually play that at the end here and people can have a listen, because I don't think, I mean, for a lot of people, Dave Grohl is just a Foo Fighter guy who likes to play a little bit of rock. I mean, I'm sure people who listen to us obviously know who Dave Grohl is, but yeah, this definitely reminds me much more of that sort of a Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny type of metal that he's so freaking capable of. And I never know why he doesn't make more of this. Like, I would fucking love to listen to a full album of this.
Just for fun. Too busy with the Foo Fighters.
Come on.
Let's play some Heltekvad then as well. Right after that.
I mean, if we can, I'm sure we're gonna get barred or kicked off. But
no, it's on Spotify, so no problem.
Oh, it's on Spotify. Oh, fucking great. Fine.
Eisenwald's a pretty big label, so they put everything on here.
Yeah, we'll decide what we want to play at the end, and then we'll let you have a butch. And you know what? Let us know what you guys thought of the film if you have watched it, because I'm actually intrigued to see what other people thought. A lot of people were just sacking it, but all the metalheads were like, nah, man.
It's the people sacking it were the ones who maybe that wasn't their thing. If this sounds like it's your thing, you'll enjoy it if you enjoy that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us for this episode, guys. Stay tuned. We got a lot, and I mean a lot of interviews coming up in March. I don't. Should we say? I don't want to say because I don't want to. I don't want to jinx it. No, listen. I don't want to jinx it with all the shit that's going on, which I know we haven't mentioned. But with all the shit in the Ukraine and yeah, God knows what the hell is going to happen. Maybe there's going to be a thermonuclear war. Hopefully not. But in case something does happen and we're not able to see those bands, I don't want to call it out and then get everyone's hopes up, mom and dad, and then they don't hear.
They would be really disappointed in their son if they heard that they couldn't interview this obscure metal band from some.
I mean, they're getting up there, to be fair, but yeah, okay, fine. Anyways, guys, stay tuned. We've got some really great stuff coming from the underground for you as well. So yeah, this has been Kjort the Kropp in. Well, no, I'm going to say that in Finnish. This has been Kjort the Kropp in Pastor.
And Chernoglav, the hero with the silver mustache.
Oh, that was probably one of your best ones. That's
I've been practicing in the mirror. Yeah. What do you think I did the hour before this podcast?
Yeah, literally just I was suspicious. Like, what is taking him so long? All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for listening. If you guys want to hear from your favorite bands interviews, just let us know. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook.
Everything. Check the description and give us a follow.
Yeah, this has been the Heavy
Metal
Citadel
podcast.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.